Grimdark is a style and design philosophy closely tied to Warhammer 40,000. Despite that, you don't tend to see a lot of it in everyday paint jobs. Today I'm going to take a very beginner-friendly approach, I think, to see how to get started with that style. Normally I have a load of different paints and tools and powders to do this, but today I'm going to dial it right back to some essentially bare basics. All you'll really need is a handful of enamel paints or washes, or oil paints and white spirit if you want to do that. For my choice of enamels, I'm going to go with the Posh Wank route, and we're trying out the Villainy Ink range. But before we throw those washes on, the washes need a background layer to engage with. With all of these washes, we're essentially using them like Lightroom or Instagram filters, and depending on their translucency, for a layered effect. First we need to look at what to paint everything with, and I normally will do my Grimdark stuff with pure whites and metallics, but this time I'm trying some mid and bright base coats under everything to see what happens. I choose mids and lights because the enamel washes are going to bring everything down in shade. More on that as we go. And a little side note, these guys I'm painting are for a snowy tundra setting that I'm working on, so I'm working a very pale pastel blue into every base colour that I add, just to lean everything a little bit colder and to desaturate the initial palette. One of the tropes of Grimdark artwork is that it mixes desaturated pale and sickly colours with a deep contrast and rich earthy tones to create its image. So that is basically what we're going to aim for. So later on we're going to throw some gore and blood on these barbarians, but in general you may want to go with a generally desaturated paint scheme and then hit a few pieces of cloth or standout features to draw the eye with something bright, strong and primary. This isn't how everybody does it, of course, but it's how I like to do it. And off camera I've attacked all the various miniatures I have with these mixed tones from my wet palette. With everything now ready for the Grimdark wash stage, we can move back onto our Space Marine. He's been primed off camera with black and then hit with a pure white spray can from above. And we've just got a few extra little colours to add, a metallic, a red for the seal, and a cream for the paper on the seal, a brown for the pouches, and that is actually it. Just base coats, not many of them, and nothing else needed. We can now finally move onto the crusty Grimdark stage where the magic happens. Be sure to coat your plastic palette with tinfoil so that... Why the fuck is that? What? Oh, okay, it just didn't want to come out before. I guess that's fine. A dash of white spirit always on hand for cleaning our brushes and for diluting these pretty potent washes. And apply with a synthetic brush if you've got one. If you want to know where I got these very nifty grippy synthetic brushes from, check the link in the description down below. I think they have a couple of days left on their Kickstarter. Next up is the reductive technique, which is pretty universal for everyone's Grimdark method. Normally I use a makeup sponge for this, but for some reason I went with a Q-tip. Lightly soak the Q-tip in white spirit and apply to the model to reactivate the dried enamel washes. And alternate between the wet and the dry end to reactivate, remove, or apply texture to the miniature. Leave that to dry, and then we're going to switch over to the Goon's Grime. which is a nice, even, universal wash. It's important to note at this point, you can pretty much backpedal on any choice that you make with an enamel or oil wash up to a point. But there's always going to be a tint on lighter areas, which is why it's always important to thin your wash down so you don't go too far and have to restart. Dystopian brown next, all applied while the model is still wet. This goes into the more recessed areas and near the base of the model to give it more depth to play with. It's okay for all of these colours to have some kind of crossover. In fact, it's probably preferred. They'll make some unusual combinations at times, but that is kind of part of the fun and adds to the scratchy Grimdark style. Semi-lastly, for the metallics, we're going to hit them with an all-black wash. This stuff has a very satin finish to it, which is nice for some different light reactions later on. As done previously, we're now going to go back into the reductive method and chisel some of the highlights out on the marine. This handles the majority of your recess shading, but also highlights itself as you remove the wash. But the niftiest thing about this method is that if you play around with the wash enough, you can leave behind textures and tide marks that simulate oil and dirt perfectly at scale. Because oils and enamels don't cure in the same way or have the same dry time that acrylics do, before we move on, it is pretty imperative to seal up your work so far with a flat, clear varnish. Any handling of the models before this can leave fingerprints, so let's seal it up. Another benefit of using such pale base colors is that your highlights can be a true white or an off-white, and if applied thinly enough, it can do the job just by itself. You don't really need to go any harder than that. Also, if you've got the tremors and shakes like I do, this painting style is definitely for you. If anything, it kinda needs a shaky touch. With the Space Marine done, I'm going to use all the washes I've already mixed to get some slap on all these other miniatures. The big barbarian dudes are from Malediction, by the way, which is something I picked up from UK Games Expo and hope to cover on the channel at some point. The big hat lady and big axe lady are from Comet Lord, and the Ronin archer is from Bushido by GCT Studios. They're all just base coats with minimalism in mind, using just those desaturated colours from earlier, and the washes go on haphazardly in a mixture of different dilutions to get the most amount of varied flavours that I can give them. Whole process takes about an hour and a half, just adding, reducing, adding different shades, reducing different colour on there, and then blending. And truth be told, I don't really like any of them. Bigger dudes are kind of okay, because they kind of self-illuminate as bigger, not self-illuminate, you know what I mean? Bigger things tend to look better with less lighting applied. That's why movie miniatures are so big, is because, well, they just kind of behave more naturally under light. There are some interesting colours and tones going on. The Villainy Ink stuff does behave differently to like the Ammo and AK Interactive stuff. I think what we're going to chalk this up to is we've had a learning experience. Yeah. Some stuff that I've done in a Grimdark style before has been kick-ass. It's looked great because we've really leaned into the camp ridiculousness of Grimdark. And I think I wanted to go a little bit more Soulsborne looking with this stuff, and it's all right. It's fine. I'm not especially disappointed. I've had so many other freelance up and downy all over the country jobs since I started this. It's taken me, these have been on the bench for like 2 weeks, and there's maybe a dozen models, which shows how busy things have been. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of do a general highlight pass and hope that my arm doesn't give out before they're done, because I actually have a game with the Dark Soulsy ones tomorrow. The good thing is, I like the Space Marine. The Space Marine turned out pretty much not how I wanted, but turned out to be something interesting, and that's kind of the gist, really. Do I like the Villainy Ink stuff? Yes. Do I need more practice with it? Absolutely. Did I prioritize and do a better job on the Space Marine because it's a thumbnail and we had limited time? Yes, absolutely. I'm going to crack on with those highlights, and then we'll see how we feel, and we'll have a juicy bit of B-roll at the end. Alright. So I spent about another hour just highlighting trim, doing some dry brushing with whites and creams to make those edges more defined on the tabletop. And that's kind of about it. After that, I was pretty happy with them. Big thank you to my Patreon community for their patience with this one. I have had a pretty mental couple of weeks since UK Games Expo, and it was nice to finally get this video out the door and done. I will be back next time to try my hand at painting a dragon. Cheers, I'm out of here.